Chris Leto is. He has a program that will work. Let's support him. Chris Leto.
Hello. Hey guys, again, welcome back. I'm Chris Leto. Just for anyone who doesn't know the program or the project, I was a F-16 pilot for 18 years. I went to the Air Force Academy. I'm originally from Houston. I went to the Air Force Academy when I was 17. I really wanted a different life, and it provided it for sure. It was very challenging, an amazing experience. I was lucky enough to go to pilot training. I went to Pensacola. That's where actually Ryan Graves trained. He was an F-18. He's an F-18 pilot. Went to Pensacola, and then went to Luke Air Force Base for my F-16 training. I met my beautiful wife, Claire. We have 3 kids now and live in Portugal. Okay, so after a 20-year career, amazing career all around the world in the Air Force, flying F-16s, amazing opportunity with some amazing people. I retired and moved to Portugal, live at the beach and surf. I started making YouTube videos really to impress my little kids. They said, I want to be an astronaut. I said, that's great. Or a YouTuber. And I said, excuse me? And so I was like, you can do that right now. We just start making videos. And they're like, whatever, Dad, you know. And so I was like, okay, I'll start making videos then. Needed something else to keep busy, you know. So basically started making videos. And it was not about actually UAPs or UFOs originally. It was about what I'll talk about here is non-fungible tokens or crypto technology, other new future tech. That's what I was really interested in, was future technology. So I started making videos about that originally. No one watched them actually, which is fine. But then the gimbal video came out. Okay, the Go Fast video came out, and I started analyzing those because I used those same systems in my day-to-day job as an F-16 pilot for those years, and that resonated with people. And what I realized is for the first time, so up until last year, I was a complete atheist, didn't really believe anything, actually. And I was hardcore my whole life. I wanted to know answers. Everyone I looked around basically would tell me these things, and I thought they were crazy, honestly. And when you think everyone else is crazy, what ends up happening is you think you're crazy. And for the first time in my life, it kind of opened my eyes that this UAP phenomena is something real, something legit. Commander David Fravor, when he gave his interview, I really felt like I was there. And so that really opened up my mind. And it's been a roller coaster ride since then. And I'm really dedicated to this. And we've opened this UAP Society. And the real reason is I don't think the answers are going to come from your centralized servers. Okay, the governments of the world, organizations, they're designed really, it's not about transparency. There's no real benefit to them to provide transparency. Okay, what is the benefit? I argue there's very little, right? So it's just not in their best interests, unfortunately, okay? But we want to know, and I think there's new technology now with Web3. We can use decentralized science. Our first ambassador, Paul Hynek, he basically introduced it yesterday, but what we can do is use decentralized science around the world using the Ethereum network. It's a crypto network. We can use NFTs to fund it, and we will focus at least half the funding, the max we can do really, because you still have to run the operation, right? But half of it, the max we can possibly do is going to go for science, for UAP-focused science. The community will decide what that science will be. It's called DeSci, decentralized science, right? Everybody, all they talk about is DeFi, right? You hear about DeFi, play to earn, pay to earn, casino tokens, right? Everything is for, again, what are we doing? Money, right? It's all about money. What about science? What about education? Okay, this is what we should be focusing on for good things for humanity, okay, for people, because we're going to end up in the same situation again where everything is optimized for money. It's not optimized for knowledge, collaboration, okay? We don't need wars. We don't need to spend all of our money on weapons research. We have enough weapons, okay? We have nuclear weapons to destroy the world 1,000 times over. We don't need different ways to destroy the world 1,000 times over. We need different ways to make the world better for humans and for nature, right? And the technology is here, everybody, okay? The technology is here now. It's a little different, okay? It's not gonna look like what you think it is. It's gonna look funny to you. There's going to be little emojis you got to click on. There's going to be things called NFTs, right? But guess what? It's more fun. It's more fun, I promise. You start doing it, just try it. You guys will like it, okay? So, we can share my screen here. So this is it, UAPsociety.com. Okay, we call this Web 2.0. This is old school, okay? This is old school. Email, Web 2.0, these things you have to log in somewhere else. It's slow, okay? This is gonna be Web 3, but we have a Web 2 portal. This is our Web 2 portal, okay? So as we scroll down, what is it? We have UAP Society Alien Dreams Genesis Collection is 10,042 non-fungible tokens, okay? Who are we? Sentinels. Our prime directive is to propel the world's transition to a deeper awareness and understanding of the unidentified aerial phenomena. We leverage technology and creativity to elevate UAP decentralized science, DeSci research projects funded in part through Web3 crypto initiatives, okay? Here's our first NFT collection, okay? Again, it's gonna look funny to you guys. It's gonna be new. This is what innovation looks like. This is what disruption looks like, okay? It's more fun, okay? You can look at your bank account where it just says like boring numbers, or you can look at your bank account where it was artificially created, so using AI intelligence, artificial intelligence, combined with a person, Colin Stone, he's our artist, and he made 10,042 of these completely different using artificial intelligence, okay? You can look at your boring bank account, or you can look at this. It's that simple. That's it. NFTs now can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why? Because they're verifiable. They're verifiable. Okay, your bank account, what happens when your bank goes under? What happens when the Federal Reserve collapses? What happens to your bank account then? Worth zero, right? What happens when the government, Federal Reserve collapses? How much is this going to be worth? The same that it's worth before that event, because it's not related, okay? It's decentralized, okay? All right, so this is what they look like. Kind of weird, right? So we have ultra rares. Today we're gonna reveal that. These will reveal in the next, we have 42 of these. You'll actually see what it looks like shortly. Of our collection, we have 9 human mechs, okay? These are our super rares. There's only 9 of these. We have 300 of these rares, and then we have the rest, 9,691 are just your commons. Why'd we do it? Again, to do research. Our initial collection, right, going right out the door is gonna fund an additional 2 space balloons, okay? Today was just a warm-up. Friday was just a warm-up. Because I didn't wanna pay marketers to spread our word, I wanted to pay it on doing something cool. So what do? We sent up this space balloon. Okay, so let's bring up Alexei. Come on up, man. This is it. This went to space on Friday. How do we define that? 43 kilometers, 43.2 kilometers went up. I'll let Alexei here kind of talk through the payload.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? All right. Well, this is the payload right here, and basically we had 3 different GPS tracking units on it, just so we could make sure we could find it after it landed. We had 3 different cameras, and we had a device created by Jim to give us some special data. But I think it went up great. It ended up in the middle of Dinosaur National Monument, right? So at the end of the day, basically I had to drive 4 hours, then make a deal with a local rancher named Dawn, who took me on her ATV for 4 more hours, and eventually made it to the payload. I think there is a short video of the recovery there towards the end of that.
Okay,
clip,
we'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
Can you talk through just the payload? So what did you actually put in there? What did you pack up? Right here, you're packing up the payload, getting ready to launch in the video.
Well, I think Jim might have been doing that, but we put the stickers in here that we took up to space, also a necklace, the USB drive that contains all 10,042 NFT. So our NFT have been to space.
Yeah, let's stop. So we put all of our HD images that I just described there, and we put them on a USB, and we put it in our Germany launch and our Vernal launch. So this is actually the second launch. I'll give you a video of the Germany launch here in a second.
Yep, and so in the background right now, you can see that I was a little worried, actually. I mean, you can see the balloon. The wind was blowing pretty hard, and these balloons pop pretty easily sometimes. And we were trying to hold it down while we're doing this countdown. So I basically just said, hey, guys, we got to go. And then you can hear the countdown go off. I think that happens right now.
Here we go. 8,
So
2, 1, launch. There we go. That was UAP Society, guys. Launching. This is it. You can see everybody right there.
yep.
There's you guys right there.
So we had an ascent of about 6 meters per second and made it to, I'd say, approximately 43,000 kilometers. Or sorry, 43 kilometers up, so 43,000 meters. The descent was much quicker. But luckily, our GPS units survived, and we were able to find it in the middle of the mountains. Well, here's Jim. Tell you a few words about his device that we put in there.
Hi, so one of the things that we decided to do was instrument this to the point where we can actually understand what is happening during the flight, and as far as what kind of readings there are, GPS readings, electromagnetic readings, and gamma ray readings. So we put a device on here that looks like this. It's a very compact, it's got a little computer on it, a little SD card, and it records continuously throughout the life of the battery, whatever powering it. And it just sits there and just records all day long. And we also have, well, actually, this is Dwayne's, this is actually Blind Frog Ranch's device that I kind of borrowed from him. I sent it up there. I said, if we lose it, we lose it. It's his. So actually, we had another device inside the outpost at the same time that this went up in the air. Unfortunately, and I think that's also true, maybe Alexi can elaborate on this, but I think at the time of the launch, the cell phone stopped transmitting. Is that correct? This stopped transmitting as well, but the one on the ground continued to transmit. So, and they're identical. I mean, 100% identical, which is really weird. And it didn't really have to transmit anything. All it had to do was record, and it stopped. So we had one of those Uinta Basin moments where we had all this preparation, we did all this thinking, planning, taping, and when we said go, it stopped. But we did get some interesting data from the ground unit that was there that Chris can show you later. But it was actually quite interesting. So this went up, and it went a whole lot. Actually, when this was designed, it was designed to go deep into the ground. And this is what we were going to put in Blind Frog Ranch's holes in the ground. Ironically, this went up in the air, so it had a dual purpose, and it never was designed to do that. So.
Yeah, and I mentioned yesterday, I got a question is, how often do the equipment break? And I said all the time. And I'm not joking, it breaks all the time. So you can say stuff's easy, right? Everyone's like, oh yeah, that'll be easy, right? You just send a weather balloon to space, no problem, right? Oh, yeah, go try it, right? Go try it and see how it works, okay? So this is just the first one, so this is part of the process right here. So we're already setting up for a dual launch in July as well. And so we're gonna take all the lessons from this and just make it better. So we have your data up on the screen, Jim, if you wanna talk through it.
So what we're recording here, and it was actually quite interesting, so the one on the ground is recording things that shouldn't really change in a normal sense. So these are like gyroscopic readings, and these are there's microwave readings, go a little farther up. And what we're finding is that at the point of launch, you get a large microwave signal variation, meaning that there's a whole bunch of microwave, but everybody was outside. This was inside, so it was kind of weird that it was picking up all this extra microwave. So it was doing that. And then a little later on, maybe after about 2100, started to pick up more. That's probably when everybody came back inside. But during the launch, it was kind of funky. It had that big old spike right around when we launched. And that was kind of interesting. So it's not the data that's from the device, but we were recording the identical piece of equipment on the ground, and it was a little bit weird. And then we had some interesting gamma readings, which is a little lower in that thing. During the launch, there was a high gamma peak, which, I don't know if you know this, but gamma's dangerous. We don't get a lot in this area, but when you see peaks, it's something that's a little disconcerting. But we did see a peak right at the point of launch, which means, was somebody watching? Did somebody do something? Not one of you people, but was there something? So we don't know. Anyway.
Okay, so this is the balloon. Thank you, Jim. That's awesome. So we'll have a device hopefully in the next launch in July, and we'll work on making it better sealed, so it actually will figure out these issues, basically. So this is, if you want to talk through this, Alexei, on the lookup.
Yep, so this is the balloon looking straight upward toward, or sorry, the camera looking straight upward towards the balloon. And you can see the two red dots essentially in the middle of the balloon there. The one on top is the knot that we use to tie the whole structure together. The one underneath that is actually the parachute. So yeah.
That's these things right here, right? So this is these connections?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, so
and
you
then
can see
the
it there.
parachute you can see right there as well.
It's this plastic material. It has like powder on it. You know, you can't touch it with your hands prior. That's why we couldn't paint it.
Yep. But so in this photo, in this video right here, what you're seeing is the sun dancing around the balloon, right? So what's happening is actually the box is doing 360 spins, meanwhile looking straight upward. So it looks like the sun is circling around, but it's the box doing spins.
Okay, let's go to the recovery. Okay. We didn't get it good.
The balloon went up a little bit slower than intended, and so basically we ran out of footage before the pop happened. Yeah. But this is the GPS tracking right here, and you can see that we start off in Vernal on the far left, and then it makes it all the way past Dinosaur National Monument, but then as it hits a certain layer, it goes back west again, pops, and then falls back down into, it should show the next ping here in a second. Yep. It went over the Green River, came back, then went back east, and landed where the biggest ping is right there, which is Zenobia Creek, just west of Zenobia Peak, which is privately owned by the rancher who owns that entire valley, the two valleys there. Even the rangers need to ask her permission to go through there. So at the end of the day, we found the right person somehow to take us through her property. And so you can see if you zoom in right there, I call that the Dinosaur Foot. You see 3 little toes almost coming out. It landed right there at the top of it.
And this is right west of Dinosaur National Monument, no?
Yep.
Yeah.
Within it, basically.
Yeah, because he couldn't get through that mountain range.
And that's
so we were
Tom.
seeing, he was waiting on the west side on Friday night, right? And we were waiting, is it going to come west? And it didn't. It went east. So that's why I had to get it the next day.
And this is Tom wearing the white sweater there.
Let's go before it rains.
Basically, the rain was coming as well as a snowstorm. So we had to get in and out, right? And they basically drove us 2 hours towards the payload and then 2 hours back away. So this is the final approach to the payload. And this entire drive was 4 hours to the spot, 4 hours of waiting, 2 hours on a ATV to get to it, so, right? And then I had to walk. It was only off the road by 200 yards, but I had to do all that other stuff first. And so then I walked out there, picked it up, hopped back on the ATVs, and came back. And I left Vernal, Utah at 8 a.m. and arrived here again at 10 p.m. So that was the trip to go get the balloon. Thank you. Yeah, I had to negotiate with the ranchers, and they got me there.
You got it, bro.
Thanks.
Thanks, man. That was so awesome. Yeah, and like we mentioned, there is a dual launch, okay? So I've learned in my career as a fighter pilot, if you can, you always hit the target twice. With separate assets. This is actually true. It's called double tap. We do the same thing, I think, yeah. Anyway, so we also have the launch from Hamburg. Okay, so we had a separate team. If it can load here. I don't know what's going on.
Right. And will that be the first?
This is our next launch scheduled actually, we do have a plan to launch the space this time next year. Yep. That's the plan. Yep. And why don't I just talk to that right now? Thanks, guys. I guess, thanks, man. Thanks, Jim. We'll leave that up there. Inundate the whole world? Faraday. It sounds easy to do. Okay, so this is our website. Basically, our main first going out the door science initiative is to support Sky 360. So sky360.org is a nonprofit organization out of Austria. It's led by Richard Hoff. You guys should be on the stream as well. So Richard and his team, Brad's here from Sky 360, amazing engineer, okay? So basically, this is the system. Okay, the idea is it'll be $5,000 for the full max system. Okay, so interested parties can download the actual hardware designs, okay, from the nonprofit. They can order those parts from Amazon Global, so anywhere in the world, and they download the free software on GitHub that'll actually run this system. So we put one of these systems out by Blind Frog Ranch, for instance, and I want 2 systems actually so we can triangulate. And now these will be looking up 24/7. They're just looking up into the sky, waiting to detect anything anomalous, okay? Using kinematics, okay, so if it's moving too quickly, this fisheye lens picks it up and it points the actual point to zoom camera, right? And that thing just zooms in and gets a high definition video. So this is it right here. Yep, so we are developing it. They're basically almost through the final development. In September, we're gonna have this fisheye lens created. The enclosures are already built. The software is being written now, right? You need the hardware really until you can finish the software. So everything will be ready to go on this, the AI sensor, in September. And that's why we're launching this, okay? We wanna rush the development. We can rush the development. These guys are volunteers. They've been working their asses off like Sundays for the last 10 months. And so now is, how about you do this for your real job and we get some stuff done, right? So we can pay them with cash as necessary and we can develop the system to deploy 20 by first quarter next year, okay? So we want these out quickly to get out to 100 systems as soon as we can. So that's $5,000 per system. $500,000 will be devoted to this Sky 360 system. The other 500 will be putting the actual system into a microsat. Microsatellite costs $350,000 to reserve. We'll have $150,000 extra, which is probably gonna be needed, right? That is just for our initial sale, okay? This will be funded by the sale that I'm talking about right now. This is our space map, okay? Right now we're opening our Congress 42 NFTs have already been for sale. Thank you to the people that have really dove in at the beginning. I know it was a big ask for a lot of people. Thank you. I really hope it works out. I think it will. Next week, we have the whitelist, okay, for our full 10,000 set. They're gonna be 0.1 Ethereum. This is the cheapest we can make it, $180. You don't have to invest to be a part of our community, okay? You don't have to invest. Let me show you what we need. This is our Discord, okay? Like I said, it's gonna look different to you guys. This is Web3, okay? Discord it's like a better Facebook. I hate to say Facebook. It's a social media platform, okay? You have channels over here, right? But basically, this is where people will come to discuss. We want a place where you can come and feel comfortable discussing, okay? It can actually be anonymous as well. So your Discord name can be whatever you want. It can be anonymous, but we will hold you to how you behave with that anonymous Discord, okay? So we control the server. It's not controlled by anyone else. If someone's not, if they're not being respectful, we kick them like anything else. But here now is we're organizing, okay? So we have, you see here, Skywatch 101. This is for people that are dedicated to looking up, okay? They're trying to figure out what's going on, looking up. We have experiencers, okay, talking about, I think we need to look at all aspects of the phenomena, okay? We need to look at all possibilities. We need to be open-minded. There's questions direct for the team. We have nuts and bolts. And the real key here, okay, what's powerful about this is now only people that have a verified NFT can see these sections for the proposals, okay? So only people with verified NFTs. You see, it's my name's red here. That means we've used the blockchain technology to verify that I own this thing. So no one else can see this channel. Does that make sense? So now if we get information, right, if we're looking up 24/7, we put 9 of these systems over Los Angeles, so it looks everywhere. Well, now we can see when meteors are coming, okay? If you can triangulate where a meteor hits and find it, meteors are worth $2,000 per gram. We can sell it to universities such as Harvard. So they will need it, okay? We can delay that information by 1 week. All of a sudden, there's a pretty big profit incentive to be a part of this organization. Do you see? This is just one use. Think of that. Our goal is to get information for the good of humanity. I'm pretty sure information will be valuable moving forward into the information age, okay? So the idea is you don't need to be invested with money because we need solid proposals. We need people to go out there and do the work. So right here we have Unidentify, okay? He has given a proposal where he says we should contribute to Unidentify Ether PSI development. So he has a proposal that this is the first one we've gotten, right? It's rough. He puts out a proposal saying this is how we should use decentralized blockchain to store our files. Just one proposal. So now what will we do? I'll go and I'll vote on this. I'll click on this little lightsaber emoji, okay? You can only click once. Now that means I voted for that proposal. Get it? That's it. It's that simple. We get 100 of these. The community decides this is what we should be voting for. We say, devote the funds. The funds go to this person, to their wallet address, okay? If they take the money and run, guess what happens? They don't get a future contract. If they do good science, we know them, the community comes back, they get data. Even if there's nothing, they didn't find anything, that's fine, that's data too. It comes back, they gave good data, what the community wanted, guess what happens? They get the next contract. You get it? This can be all around the world. You could say, hey, I live in South Africa, I want to put a Sky 360 system in my backyard. It'll cost $5,000, I'll do all the work. We say, okay, click the little emojis, funds go. Hopefully they build that system, okay? This is how it's gonna work. It's community driven, community driven. So that's it, everybody, that's it. It's not so complicated, it's just different. It's just different. So how do you get involved? Go to uapsociety.com. In order to actually purchase, this is what we need, this information, an Ethereum wallet address, your Discord name, and your email address, okay? But that's just if you wanna purchase. To actually take part, just come to our Discord, like I just mentioned. It'll look weird, okay? You can lurk around, get used to it, but this is gonna be the future. So this is gonna be Web 3.0. Let's see if it loaded. Looks like it's, okay, I can find it here, here we go. Okay, so we do have the data from Germany. Is downloaded on Tuesday. Okay, this is why you double tap. So you see here, this is from Team Hamburg. They launched 45 minutes before us. Sky 360 team really ran this. So Richard Hoff was running this.
Try to track it as long as possible.
That's Christian Ambrose there on the far right. He's Sky 360's primary astronomer. This guy has built a ton of systems. He's built in telescopes before. It was his idea to put a green laser on this thing, and then you can track the actual laser. It's also a red laser pointing at it. Launches were done by Stratoflights. So Stratoflights, professional company out of Hamburg. These guys are awesome. That's them launching it.
Okay, they're ready, and they will launch any...
There's a little payload box you can see. There's a parachute. That's it. It launched. That was the first one, actually. Cool. Let's see. They did. Do we know how far they went, Brad? Do you know how far they had to go? They got it late at night. Let me see if I have those pictures. That's Christian right there. Thanks, Christian. There's Tobias on the left there. He's the founder of Stratoflights. And I think I'm done on time, 5 minutes over. Any final questions or anything from anybody? Go ahead. What brings it down is gravity. Yep, so that I was hoping to get that, you know, you don't always get what you want. But the idea was to, yeah, when it goes up to that altitude, so 43,200 meters, it's going to be 40 feet across, okay? So you saw it'll be from here to the wall. It explodes, which I was really hoping to get on video a lot, but it didn't. And then, it comes down under parachute. The parachute actually twisted, didn't fully deploy, and so it hit pretty hard, actually. But like we said, we got enough data back, you know. Okay. On the German side, they couldn't track it. So they were trying to track the actual balloon like you saw with that telescope, and it was difficult past a certain distance. They weren't able to track it as high as they thought. As far as I know, that everything worked on their balloon. They're still, it's Germany, they'll work on Monday.
On the voting for the projects for the NFTs, is that like a percentage of how many people have joined that are allowed to vote?
Yeah, I mean, so really the way it works is we're building the base technology right now, is the base NFTs. As a company, we're doing the first year. So we have Sky 360, we have the satellite initiative, and then we'll have hopefully another 500,000 for other objectives. But really that has to be finalized, formalized by the community, essentially. The whole idea is that we can't do it alone. No one can do it alone. And that's why we've gotten to this position. If we all just work together, then it can work. But it really does require everybody actually getting in there. There's going to be some frustrations. As long as everybody's respectable, it works.
Congratulations on all you've achieved up to now. Good luck.
Thank you.
With your future endeavor. I want to be part of it. When
Excellent.
can I start buying these at 180?
Yeah, it's, I think Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday.
Thank you.
As soon as we can get back.
I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to
you'll have a week. So sign up for the whitelist, and then I have on my YouTube channel, I have some videos that are hopefully helpful to kind of describe this technology. But anytime I post an NFT video on my UAP video, everyone freaks out and calls me a scammer.
So I just have a quick question.
Yes.
I apologize because we were delayed waiting for our bill at lunch, so I missed your presentation. But from what I understand, are you connected in at all with the other civilian-based initiations to do UFO observations and data collection, like the UFO TOG? Have you heard about that? There are two other major groups going on involving Doug Trumbull, who's a major filmmaker. They're setting up, positioning cameras with multi-sensors on them, and then they're linking the data from them via Wi-Fi back to a central computer, and they're tracking UFOs in regional areas, and they're setting these things up. Theirs sell for about $2,000 a piece, but people can put them in their backyard. And
For their systems.
yes, yeah. You've not heard of them?
I
Because it
haven't.
seems to me there should be an international or people should be linking their data together depending on how they're collecting it.
UFO DAP? Yeah, have you heard of them, Brad?
There's UFO DAT,
Can you give him wait, 1 second, Brad? Here. So Brad, he's the top engineer from Sky 360,
Well, from the United States side
from
of
the
things.
US.
We are completely separate from them. They're a private thing. So we are structured differently. We support their mission in every way, shape, and form. The more eyes in the sky, the better. Same with the Galileo project. We're all sort of doing the same thing. Our approach is, like he said, completely decentralized. It's community-based. All development is community-based. We're not selling anything. I mean, we'll sell parts to our station that you have to build it. We don't make any money off of it. Whereas they are, you come to us and you buy the system and you don't take part in the development. We pretty much have a community of people saying you're doing it wrong, and then we revise. So we're doing the same mission, but we're going about it a different way. And we're more than happy to collaborate with anybody, but I think we're going to do what we're going to do.
Yeah, what? Go ahead.
And if I may, guys, so what he just said, basically, to boil it down in the comparison to that system versus this one, what he's been talking about is decentralizing, which means on that Discord, everyone shares the data, can contribute, can bring forth their knowledge. So if any of the people who have that system choose to share their data with us, that's it. It's all decentralized. It's all a part of the same program at that point. So it's not a matter of the companies needing to connect. It's connected through the community, which is what's beautiful about this program.
Excellent. Yeah, exactly. It has to be open source. So anyone that's willing to, if they're on the mission and they are willing to share that, they have to share their data open source, then they can come and do whatever they want. That's the whole point. What I found is people aren't willing to share. They say they want to help. Everyone's like, yeah, we'll do it. We're motivated on the mission. And then you say, okay, let's do it. And they say, well, we don't want to share our data, right? Everybody wants data from everyone else, but you're not willing to share. And everybody, you all know who I'm talking about. It's pretty much everybody. It's everybody. I'm not kidding. Except Sky 360, man. These guys are open source, and we're open source.
For newbies into the NFT, Chris, which one of the crypto wallets would you recommend?
I'm sorry, couldn't hear you, Terry.
For newbies into the NFT, which one of the crypto wallets would you recommend?
We use MetaMask, so what we use. So if I can do the final thing here, and we explain that on our website in the Discord. It's any Ethereum NFT wallet will work.
Did you need that up?
I've used MetaMask as well. And so we recommend MetaMask. I've had good luck. It's not affiliated with Facebook. Some other. So I just want to, as the last thing is what we did. So Web3 again, is so I showed you before, right, those hidden ones. So while I've been talking up here, we have revealed all of the 42 NFTs. So if you're an ambassador, these are your NFTs. This is what you got, okay? If you look at the number, what's your number, Paul? Do you know?
Yes.
Let's go 23. Let's see. 12, 18, 8, 28. 42. How many people know the meaning of 42? Okay, I'm a huge Elon Musk fan. Okay, he inspired me actually to even try something like this, and actually maybe more positive about the world, really optimistic. So his favorite book is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. If you read that, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So 42 is basically the answer to the question of what is the meaning of life. Okay, humans made a supercomputer in the past. They asked it, what is the meaning of life? It calculated for 7.5 million years, and it came up with the answer. It said, you're not going to like this, but the answer is 42, right? So now they had to go back and figure out what is the question. That is to the answer, that is 40.
And the first 42 that he mentioned are the ambassadors. Those cost a little bit more, but you are then an ambassador with of course, more involvement, but more so, you're an ambassador of the entire program. And yes, Liz and I are already an ambassador, as well as Paul and several others here. This is a phenomenal thing. I urge you to get involved. Thank you so much, Chris. All right, guys, so as you know, we're running a little bit behind today, but we've got so much more great stuff. So give us just a few minutes to prepare for the next speaker and stay very, very close, because in about 3 to 5 minutes, we're on.